afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Hanging with the Hooligans. I am Chuck Bailey, joined today by Doug
Yo.
and Alex.
Hello
Bailey.
there.
We're all Baileys today.
We're all based today?
We're all Baileys today.
Baileys.
We're all Baileys today.
I don't know if I should ever say your guys' last names. I know sometimes I do. I'm like, do they want that out there? You know.
I mean, at this point, I'm sharing my last name when I make the post.
Today we're joined by Douglas McDye, who lives on 926. No, I'm kidding.
You said Douglas McDye?
Yeah. Douglas McD.
Clan of McD.
Yeah. Oh man.
That'd be a good hybrid.
Yeah, one of my coworkers was talking about how he thought it was ridiculous that I think Scottish people carry on family feuds, like family. Then I was like, oh yeah, Doug was talking about that in the past.
Mm-hmm.
How he experienced some like clan on clan beef in Scotland, by the way, guys, not here.
Yeah. I just thought it was really weird. I was just like, we're still talking about that? What the fuck?
Again, that's with a C, not a K.
Yeah. The cool clans.
The
Cool Klux Klan.
No, you stop that.
It's McCluck's clan.
Yeah. MacD.
McCluck.
Well, what have you guys been up to this week?
I have been working, sleeping, and wondering why the fuck John Cena turned on Cody Rhodes! No. No, just, that's basically it, actually.
Yeah, usually the John Cena thing for you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things no one ever saw actually happening.
He wakes up in a cold sweat. Why did he do it?
Why'd you do it, John? Also, loyalty, respect. No, I don't give a fuck. Like, there are people that I'm friends with that are, like, legitimately upset about it. But when I grew up watching John, he was Doctor of Thugonomics, so he was already kind of a bad guy.
And that's what you want him to go back to, is
Well,
Dr.
it's not that
Thugonomics?
I wanted to. I'm just, like everyone else, I didn't expect them to actually do it.
But you did say you want him to go back to the doctor.
I want the chain back, man. I want a word life.
I want the
That
jorts
John Cena.
back.
The jorts. I mean, I don't think he ever dropped the jorts.
Is he still wearing jorts?
He's still wearing jorts.
Well, then I'm gonna have to look that up right now.
Jeez.
What's that event called that you just watched?
Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber.
Yes. And he won, and then he fucked up Cody.
And then he
Pretty
became
good.
a heel.
And then Travis Scott, the real villain of the night, fucking threw real bombs at fucking Cody, and then fucking burst his fucking eardrum.
Yeah, slapped
Yeah.
the shit out of his head, dude. I saw that.
Yeah, like right over his fucking ear, so it was like, pop!
Oh yeah, he really do be wearing jorts in 2025.
See, I saw that, and I was just like, that just looks like WWE shit. What are we looking at?
Bringing it back. No, well, I mean, that one you could actually tell, because Cody actually reacted like, ah! My fucking ear!
See, I thought that was just good acting.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes they are just that good, but that one looked pretty uncomfy.
Oof.
But, yeah, man.
But yeah, no, I mean, other than working and stuff, the plumber canceled this week, so that was fun.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Right?
Like, you
We're
had months to get
Doug
your
is
shit in
apparently
order.
living in a third world country or something. Where he can't fucking get a plumber to come fix shit. Dude,
Seriously.
the weather has been good for weeks now.
Exactly. Like, at this point in time, I am kind of, like, wondering, should I call the other plumbers again and see if they'll, like, make an appointment now that the weather's decent? But, yeah, they told me to call on Monday, so I'm going to call them on Monday again and make sure my appointment is still good for Thursday. I'm like, come on, guys. I just want fucking water. I wanted to... Dude, I was looking forward to showering on Friday because I figured, you know what? They probably got this shit. They probably see this shit all the time. They're probably going to get it fixed in like one day. It might be like 3 hours of work, but it'll get done in one day, you know? Mm-hmm. But no! I called them to confirm my appointment for Friday, and they're like, oh, yep, nope, you ain't coming tomorrow. I was just, and I asked him why, and he was like, "Oh, because the plumber just isn't going to show up." And I was like, "The fuck is going on? Am I getting the run around here or something?" And he's like, "I'm going to have a meeting with my staff on Monday and go over it and figure this out." And I was like, he says, "Call me out, call us on Monday afternoon, and we'll make sure the appointment goes through." I was like, "Okay." So yeah, that's been my week. Other than work, like, I still am like on like the full time schedule for like this week.
Yeah.
But next week I'll get like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, so that'll be nice. But otherwise, it's been like I've got Tuesday nights off, and then that's it. You know, like otherwise I'm working at the gas station, Sanford, or both.
God, man.
Yeah, I've been doing. I finally got my first check for the full time schedule since going full time this week, and yeah, the only thing that sucks is like one of the main benefits I was liking about this job was like the free, or rather the unlimited UTO, technically unlimited, rather should I say?
Right.
But that kind of changes a little bit when I have to work 40 hours a week and I only have 2 days off. So and I'm still not used to that yet. So it feels like I'm like I already have to go back to work tomorrow. Fuck, you know.
No, I get that, man. Like even just having the one full time job, it was like. My parents did full time work. You know what I mean? I feel like now we should be doing like 36 hours. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, what's crazy too is like the staffing is so fucked at this job.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that 36 hours would not. They wouldn't be able to do it because they can't fucking keep people.
Yep, and the thing too is like I'm trying my best not to be like I try my best not to bash people for leaving a job because it's shit pay. Like
Yep.
all the jobs are shit pay at this point in time. But like I was talking to one of my older coworkers the other day, and she's like, "Yeah, I mean like." With the entire people not wanting to work, it's like, well, apparently people just, they don't have obligations, like apparently they don't got bills to pay, like that's because if I didn't have bills to pay, I wouldn't be having the second job, like,
Yeah.
Yep. Well, yeah, it really is hard that where I came from last time with a much higher paying job and stuff, and the whole fact that for so long I harped against boomers and Gen X about the nobody wants to work anymore thing, but then now in the position I'm in, since I supervise like kids, so like young or older Gen A and like younger Gen X,
mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, you guys really do suck at working. Your work ethic really is shit, dude. Like,
gotta teach them initiative.
I'm kind of mad. And I was like, dude, don't make the boomers right, man.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I do have an issue where like one guy gets mad because I basically tell him to do his job, and it's like, dude, it's your fucking job, man. Like, I know you're not getting paid much to do this, but it's literally your job, and it's just they're just paying me like a little bit more.
They're paying you like a buck
they just
more.
They just gave me the raise to finally get you guys to actually tell you guys to do your job too. Before I was doing it for the same fucking pay rate,
right?
And even then, it's not more than what I was making just to fucking do a simple job. But yeah, like it's so annoying to see, because I understand a lot of people don't want to do things because like, oh, I don't get paid enough for this or whatever. But also, when you go to apply for a job, like at a gas station, remember
you signed up for it.
Yeah, remember, listeners, you work at a gas station. You should know from the get go. You're not gonna just be able to sit on the the cashier's till all day, or you're not gonna just simply or if you work in the kitchen, because that is a thing, especially in Midwest gas stations. They have like kitchens, dedicated kitchens, sometimes 24 hours.
I wish we had
staffed.
a dedicated kitchen at my place, man.
Yeah, well, I thought they'd have that little technically.
We have like
section
a little
for
nook with like ovens and stuff, ovens, but that's it.
Yeah. So you're gonna be doing that if you're a dedicated like kitchen worker, at these gas stations. you got to do dishes.
Yep.
You got to keep up on the food.
Yep.
Because customers are coming in all day buying that food. I actually think it's funny that I think I do something that serves the community more now working at this fucking gas station than I did at my last job.
Yeah. I'm fucking. Well, insane. Like,
because all the truckers that come in, everybody from all over the community is coming in, wanting their food, their gas, their little treats that get them through the day, and I'm like, wow, this is really kind of important because think about if these places weren't 24 hours or even open in the morning.
Oh my god!
As opposed to,
and we can't get our little treats,
and we get paid shit for that. And then I got the highest paying job I had was to basically hear phone calls from homeowners about dog shit in their yard. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my god. A job that actually has some meaning versus a job that's just being a middleman to be bitched at, and it's apparently you get paid more to get bitched at and be the middleman. It sucks.
Oh, what's really crazy too is the fact that I'm handling money,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm also looking at the earnings for the day because when you have to write down what you make for the day, I'm like, that's crazy that I don't know what all the expenses are. But I know that I alone just pulled in enough to give that everyone that works with me could be making $3 more an hour,
right?
At least on what I pulled,
right,
during my shift alone.
And that's even just your cash at that point.
Yeah,
that's not even taking into the credit card transaction shit like that.
Yeah. Oh no, I do look at the total earnings.
Oh, you look at total.
Yeah, because that's on there. That'll be on there. But that's not what I have to write down usually, just the cash part. But it's yeah, damn, you guys are really just sitting on this. And it's a small company.
Mm-hmm.
This is some small company that's in the next state over. North Dakota, that's why they don't give a fuck about their workers.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. A lot of these companies out here seem to come from North Dakota. I'm just kind of but why?
I don't know. Well, I mean, in a weird way, I think up here where we live, we're more so North Dakota than Minnesota.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Grand Forks is only about 30, 40 minutes. So not about 40, 45 minutes. Right?
Yeah, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how fast you drive. And then, the closest major city to us is Fargo, North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got to go really far for a major city in Minnesota.
What is it, Duluth from here?
Yeah, 4 hours.
Yeah.
But, we choose Minnesota because I don't even know who the governor of fucking North Dakota is. A fucking sheep or something
Pretty much. I think they're Republican.
Yeah. Oh no, obviously that state's red as hell. Remember that used to be one of the highest. Can't say it on YouTube, but
Oh yeah.
The virus there was one of the highest.
Oh no shit! It was?
Yeah. Because people just refused to, do what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's funny because.
It's kind of the same out here. But
I was about to say people refused here. I mean, you were here in the worst of it. It was kind of right after. I think.
Yeah. I came just as they were starting to lift the mandates for masks.
Yeah. So, but a lot of it. Well, I mean, there were places that were closed down. It's crazy thinking about it that I couldn't go to a hair salon for a year. That shit was gone for a year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So my hair grew out long as fuck. And my hair was since my hair's thick too, I had a bird nest in the back sometimes that would get real tangled and it would suck to
I hate that.
comb and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Real nappy shit. But yeah, it's funny to think about that stuff because I mean, hey, we had a governor that took things seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And while the town didn't, at least our governor did. And I remember not knowing anything about that governor. I'm talking about Tim Walz.
Tom Walz? Yeah, Tim Walz.
Yeah, Tim Walz. And all I heard was, this guy sucks because he's actually doing something. And I was like, don't know him. Don't have an opinion.
Okay, so you know what? One of the things that somebody keeps pulling up, or that they keep pulling up, is that there was apparently an $18 billion surplus and they just wasted it away. I'm still trying to Google fraud and stuff in the state and whatnot, and I'll say this: there were instances of fraud, but it wasn't like Tim Walz was like, "Oh yeah, we're just going to ignore it." Like it was found, and they were trying to do something about it. It's not like Tim Walz has control over those people. Like I mean,
No.
if they were employees of this state, they were hired with some form of trust, and they broke that trust.
Yep.
It wasn't Tim Walz that was like, they broke the trust, and then like what they're doing fucking right now, where they just like look at fucking Trump and go, "Oh yeah, nah, he can get away with whatever the fuck he wants at this point." Like,
Yeah.
He could shoot someone in the middle of the street.
I'm waiting for that to fucking happen at this point in time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, did you guys see the new Daredevil?
Yeah.
I was sitting there like, I was wondering why everyone was bitching about the new Daredevil sucking. And then as soon as I saw, like, Kingpin got elected as the mayor of New York City, I was like, oh, because they're going to be like, oh, it's because Trump this. They're just trying to do this. I was like, no, it's a really good narrative, actually.
Yeah.
yep.
And also because they killed Foggy.
Well, and then also like art mimics life. So like
Yeah.
they could bitch about it all they want, but
I mean,
every show from here for the next 4 years is going to be bad guy in office is the fucking Trump figure. Like,
no, I'm sorry.
we're back in the 80s, guys.
Yeah, Kingpin's cooler though than fucking Donald Trump. The way like there was this police commissioner trying to retire, and he's like, "Oh yeah, man, I really love these sub sandwiches," and he lifts up the sub sandwich, and it's a picture of the guy's family under the fucking sandwich. I was just thinking like, God damn, that's hard, dude.
It wasn't his son's family. It was an illegitimate kid.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just knew it was like blackmail or a threat or something like that, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah.
So basically, he like stopped him from retiring by being like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'll reveal your bastard kid."
Yeah, I guess a bunch of cops are gonna leave, and the idea is I think he blackmailed all of them.
Well, it was also kind of funny too, because earlier in that episode, I want to say, he was just sitting in his fucking car, and he's like, "Why the fuck is everything taking so long?" He gets out, and there's like a bunch of poor people just like, "Oh, fill the hole."
Yeah.
All right, fill the hole.
Yeah,
well,
he yells at the construction workers to fill the hole, and they're like, "All right, guys, get on it." It's like, what the fuck?
Screw the permits. Consider them fucking approved.
Yeah.
It's like, oh damn, he's actually getting shit done.
Yeah. And it's funny too because like that's the exact aesthetics that like idiots look at when it comes to Trump and like executive orders or whatever.
Yep.
Where it's like, yeah, he yelled about getting something done, and they're working on it. So that means he's doing everything that he said he would do, right? No, he's just doing random shit, and people are acting like he's like the whole Gulf of America thing was such a dumb thing that like I didn't care to get into any of the discourse about that, but it was like it just does nothing.
Yeah, no, it literally does nothing.
And hearing this dude talk about this Republican guy bringing up on a talk show or whatever, like the cost of rent, and he goes, "We're going to drill more oil. We're going to do it. We're going to drill a lot of oil. Things are going to get cheap. Everything's going to get cheap because we're going to drill more." And it's like,
we're going to drill.
Yeah, it's like, what does that have to... That's not going to fucking lower rent, moron.
Seriously.
That isn't going to do anything to fucking, like... That could lower gas if you actually get these guys to drill more. But
yeah, basically, if you had to deal with fucking OPEC to, like, actually bring prices down if they drilled more...
Yeah, which Biden tried to do during the start of the Ukraine-Russia war, and they were like, nope.
Yeah, they just sat on those goddamn permits.
They're like, nope, gas is going up, and we're gonna make a fuck ton of money.
Let's focus on the good stuff right now, okay? Give it about a year or two, where the ozone's gonna get all crazy and the Earth's gonna get a little warm, and it's gonna be bikini season in winter in Minnesota. So get ready.
Oh God, that's
excited.
Gonna suck.
I was already
water everywhere.
I was already scared.
Huge.
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah, I was already scared about this winter because we were having like a warm winter.
Yep.
And then just suddenly, it was just like, never mind, we're gonna be fucking -40 for a couple weeks. Frostpunk levels of fucking cold.
Right.
Yep. And then it gets just warm enough for it to drop down a bunch of snow. Still, I don't think we got enough snow this winter.
No.
But it was more than the last 2 winters, so I'm glad of that.
Probably going to get a lot of rain, though, this year.
And we did get a lot
I'll
of rain last year. But, like, I hope we, because that's just one of the really scary things here is, I think, oh man, maybe 3 years ago we had a drought here, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was in denial about it. I didn't even realize. And one day I looked and I was like, oh my god, that grass is like turning yellow, like in California. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? So.
Yeah, I was working at the place that one time.
Working there, working the popo.
Yeah, I got in a canoe with my fiance, and there wasn't enough water for us to like safely fucking canoe down the river.
Jeez.
It was a little shallow, and I was like, dude, what the fuck?
I can just walk through this.
You get a paddleboard at that point.
Yeah. Man. Also, gosh. All the stuff about Doge is really funny, but the only one thing I'm really gonna like harp on about that, because there's a bunch of stuff where like they're just using it as an excuse to cut off any social safety nets that we had. But like, if they're really about to start going after people that got the PPP loans or whatever,
yeah, the PPE, yeah,
no, I think it's PPP or pretty much a bunch of fucking businesses got essentially stimulus checks in a way. And if they're really going to start going after those people...
Hey, you know what? I will give them credit where credit's fucking due,
I'm finally going to give them flowers.
Yeah.
Even though it's hypocritical, because they're basically just going to be like, well, I get a bunch of government subsidies all the time, despite me being a really shitty company and not being able to sell my vehicles to enough people. But you guys, pay back your loans.
Seriously, like at this point in time, if they go after all the PPE loans... And, like, the only people exempt from it is, like, Musk and Trump businesses. I'd be like, well, it's something at this point. Like, we got something going on.
Yeah. I mean, I read where, I think there was, like, one actual example of something that could potentially be fraud. Because I think someone filed it, and it was, like, a 15-year-old's name or something like that. I don't know either way, about... all the details there. I just know a lot of the details of the stuff they were cutting before were things that like we need. So it's like, don't just cut off funding completely. If there's actual fraud, to be had or that they're doing, figure that out and maybe fine or punish or fire the people that are doing it. But of course they don't want to do that, because when you actually look at these kind of things,
it actually takes time, and you have to get evidence. And
yeah, like the largest thing when it came to Medicaid fraud was this fucking Republican dude named Rick Scott.
Yep.
Which our boy Hassan said that if they cared about dealing with medical fraud, they would kill Rick Scott. Which
freaking insane, man.
Yeah, he got banned for saying that. But really, what he means is punish, put him in jail, whatever. Yep. But the guy had on record fucking Medicaid fraud or something like that.
I just realized,
and he's in office. He's like a Republican politician that's still not in jail or anything.
Yep. Yeah. No. That entire phrase of throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Well, they're throwing out the bathtub along with it. You know what I mean? Like, they're not only coming in and going you know what? Let's get rid of all the waste, but they're also getting rid of everything that's actually supporting people, and that's a necessity. And then on top of that, they're screwing it up so much that now the bathtub has a crack in it, and it's just going to leak water for the rest of the time that we have it. Yeah. Because nobody's going to fucking fix the leak.
They're throwing out the pipes too.
Yeah. It's ugh.
All right, why'd you get your glasses on? You're gonna do something.
It's gonna do some dude shit.
Yeah, get on with it.
No, it's really bright behind me, and it keeps. It's like getting the edge of my vision. It's kind of fucking with me.
I was like, all right, you got the glasses on. Go ahead, say your one-liner and go, yeah, or whatever.
When have I ever done that?
Yeah. Just, I don't even know what show that is, but it was an old meme that was...
Oh, that's the CSI Miami.
There we go, yeah. It's just I've never seen the actual show. I just saw all the memes about it.
I'm more of a... kind of guy.
Tim the Tool guy.
Sean does it the best. I kind of derailed that, didn't I? A little bit.
No.
Oh, I was using
We
you
were
as
just political ranting.
Oh, yeah, I was using you as a way to segue out of the political stuff before it became too much.
Before I start getting on a soapbox and then saying how Ben Shapiro's a little fucking twat.
Yeah, fuck you, Ben Shapiro.
Fuck you, Ben Shapiro.
Fuck you,
fucking
Ben.
Twat.
And also, fuck you, Ethan Klein.
Yeah, fuck you.
Fucking Ethan Klein.
And your terrorist wife.
Oh, shit.
Have you not heard of all
No,
about...
like you mentioned that in like a text message, and I was just like, wait, hold up. Because, like, I know she's Israeli, so, like, she's had military experience and shit.
She's
but
part of the IDF, yeah.
Yeah, but, like, did she actually have duty and shit, or?
Yeah, so, okay.
No!
So, there's this whole discourse. So, as you know, I was a fan of both Hassan Piker and Ethan Klein. And really, I started watching Ethan's podcast again because Hassan and Ethan had a podcast called Leftovers. And for like a whole year, they had like pretty good shit going on. And mostly, you'd see in a way, Hassan's like babying Ethan when it comes to like, you know, Ethan's like the dude that has a little bit of political knowledge, very surface level stuff, you know, but he's like a lib enough to be like, yeah, Ben Shapiro bad. Tucker Carlson bad. People who are sexist bad, you know, and it's like
on the note of Tucker Carlson, you're a bitch.
Yeah, fuck you, Tucker Carlson.
Fuck you, Tucker.
But like, yeah, you know, the very basic stuff where it's like, oh, cool, that's you know, the aesthetics are perfect. So he's like kind of almost in a way, I don't know when he tried to rebrand himself, but he successfully did it with Hassan. And then the whole thing comes up with the October 7th. And actually, this kind of started before this, actually, where Ethan's clearly like a dude who is afraid of giving too many rights to the workers. Because he had a argument.
Because he has employees now.
Yeah. He had an argument with one of his employees named Dan, and I remember this, talking about like communism or socialism. And kind of like China bad, this kind of stuff. And it's one of those things where he doesn't know a lot of information about that stuff, but he has the very American sentiment of like, all of us grew up being like China bad because we were told China bad.
Yep.
You know, and same thing with Russia. And of course we have like surface level information on why these countries are bad. But when you look at, like, it's one of those things that Hassan Piker brings up a lot in his own program, where like if you hold up the mirror to ourselves and look at the bad things Russia and China does, America does it better.
Yep.
You know,
we're better at hiding it.
Yeah, or we're better at getting people to think it's cool thing. Actually, like, you know.
Oh yeah, no, these are just immigrant camps. They're not internment camps.
Yeah, or like you know, there was rumors about the Uyghur concentration camp, but they were like re-education camps or something like that, and they're not even in service anymore. And it's like, we have a whole like incarnation system that is supposed to rehabilitate people that are racially profiled.
Oh, incarceration.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Like a whole mass incarceration system that is supposed to rehabilitate and, in a way, re-educate people, but also at the same time, we're like, it's a way like we're using them for slavery and all sorts of other things all over the country. But like, you know, Ethan Klein looked at that and was like, oh my God, it's Uyghur death camps or something like that, because he has very surface level knowledge of these kind of things. So, yeah, so they ended up having a debate, and Hassan is one of those guys who doesn't go really hard in a debate, especially if it's with his friends. He lets them have bad takes or whatever.
Yeah.
So he kind of like kitty gloved Ethan Klein when they debated about the differences between why socialism is better than a social democracy. And it's like, first of all, Ethan, the system you are talking shit about is the system you're fighting for right now, because he was arguing in favor of social democracy. Like, we live in a social democracy. You say things need to be better. That would clearly mean you want, like, the things that you want or that you claim is better than the current system we have is more socialist system stuff. You know, the social safety nets, workers having rights, caring more about the common citizen than letting like all these oligarchs or billionaires have the choice of everything. But he kind of shows his hand a little bit when it's clearly like, well, no, because he doesn't want to have to give all his employees the equal pay of the and fair share and fair creative decision and stuff like that. Even though I think a lot of his success even today is because he has other people that are more entertaining than him. Because like he's just annoying.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Ethan had his like niche, like I want to say back in the early 2000s and stuff, but then
like 2010s, yeah.
Yeah, after that, like, he just kind of, the only way he's going to be able to stay relevant is by bringing in other people either as entertaining or just slightly more entertaining.
Yeah. And he did this kind of rebrand thing. I don't know exactly when it started, but I saw like he's not, he stopped being the edgy dude that we knew, in like the 2015 era or 2014.
I don't remember I remember what you said. I remember what you said, Ethan. A lot.
Yeah. Vape Nash.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Trigger warning. I mean, even on the podcast that's still going, he said the N-word a lot. So.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was the first thing though, the first like inklings of like disagreement they had. And like even when Ethan had like more right wing, like he had what's her name? She's a comedian that he's friends with. Black hair, not Sarah Silverman, by the way. Before you guys,
I was gonna say
before you guys say it, just because they're Jewish, I forget her name. But I noticed he did this whole American sentiment thing again, where he like tried to talk bad about communism randomly, and she did not engage with it at all. Like she's like, I don't even know what communism is. Basically, like she just ignored it. But they got mad because this chick was like a transphobe, and he pretends to care about that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and So there's those little things leaking through, but after October 7th, that's when they finally had like a full-on, debate and discussion between Hassan and Ethan, where he still tried to play nice with Ethan, but was like not really letting it go, talking about why, like, well, pretty much the whole very just muddy history of like the Israeli and Palestine conflict and stuff like that. And so the podcast fell apart. And apparently for a year after that, because Ethan has really bad takes about Israel, because he's Jewish and because his wife was, Israeli, he started targeting people that were Arab and speaking out against Israel and just kind of labeling them as anti-Semitic. One example was there's this chick named Frogan or something like that. And
Frogan?
Crazy name. I don't know why it's Frogan, but she...
Is it Frogan crazy?
Yeah, she said something about having a Zionist therapist, and Ethan had no further background about this. It was just a tweet he read. He was like, why don't you just say the K word at that point?
Zionist therapist?
Yeah, he talked about her having a Zionist therapist.
A Zionist therapist.
Yeah, someone thinking that, Israelis, or rather the Jewish people, are... what's the word? Indigenous to Israel because it was promised to them by God, that kind of thing.
Yep.
But because she used the word Zionist, he was like, why don't you just say the K word at this point? And I remember being like hearing that and being like, what the fuck, dude? Like that's false equivalence, like as fuck right there,
Like that's just trying to end an argument you don't want to be in.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, and he just started getting more and more like that. I stopped watching him, because I stopped working at, the company that I could listen to a lot of podcasts at, so I wasn't listening to his podcast anymore. But, fast forward to now, he's on a complete crash out. He's been targeting Hassan Piker, his old partner from the podcast, saying that he's like weaponizing his fans against him and stuff, when really he just has really bad takes about Israel.
Yeah.
And the audience that he created himself are like, hey, this is really stupid what you're saying. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, do better.
Yeah, and, get educated or stop talking about it. Like,
yeah. And he's lost like apparently millions of viewers and stuff like that. And is like in some weird rebrand. And I don't know, there's a lot more information too, because there's like history with like Hassan having a different dude he used to be friends with, some like liberal streamer named Destiny, who's also like kind of a shitty person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's so much like lore here that builds up on the whole situation today, because apparently like Keemstar and all these other drama YouTubers that hate Hassan because he speaks out for like leftist views or whatever. It's now citing and following like Ethan in his like campaign to deplatform Hassan from Twitch and even like deplatform Twitch because they think Twitch is too woke for banning like all these people that say shitty things, So
you mean it's almost like a company doesn't want to be affiliated with Nazis and white supremacists? Like,
yeah,
who would have fucking thought?
yeah, it's crazy. And of course, they do have a guy who is kind of like what I would call the alt-right viewpoint guy. His name's Asmongold.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
just some regular gamer. Basically, regular 2016 sentiments, though. Woman in video game bad. This is cringe.
Yep.
Kind of thing. I don't. He's got cockroaches in his house or some shit. I don't know. It's just a lot of muddy information. So for me to watch that, or see all that going on. But there's this guy named Bad Empanada, who I don't know.
That sounds familiar.
I don't know who he is, but he's been going deep into like looking at Ethan and going after Ethan for every wrong thing he said, and that's where the terrorist wife thing comes from, because he unearthed this video where Ela talks about, because she was just an office worker or something in the IDF, but she requested to go on a raid with the IDF into what they call the terrorist city, which is really just
just a city with people.
It's just a city in Palestine. Yeah.
Fucking A.
And so this guy, yeah, because at first I was like, it's kind of psycho to call this chick, to call her terrorist wife. But when he outlines why he's calling her a terrorist wife, oh, yeah, she wanted to, go on a raid and stuff. And that's because, like, how we have American sentiments and how Ethan clearly has, like, the Western sentiment of, like, China bad, Russia bad. She has the Israeli sentiment of, like, yeah, these are terrorists. Like,
yep.
Palestine terrorists. And they've clipped out things where she's said things kind of like admitting or like kind of giving away the goat about her like rather like Islamophobic takes, and it's clearly like the clients are very Islamophobic just because like where they grew up or how they are.
Yep.
Because like we all grew up a little bit Islamophobic.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, once 9/11 happened, man, it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, it's like that, and then when you grew up in Israel, you're taught all the Arabs hate you, all the people around you want you dead apparently, and that's what she tried to say when Hassan was debating Ethan. But it's like there are Arab Jews, and Ethan has gone after an Arab Jew who's part of like the thing with that Frogan chick or whatever. So it's ridiculous seeing all this go on and then like learning like all this stuff about how no, you actually have these like low-key Islamophobic views about these people.
Jeez.
Because of the way you grew up, and you're secretly or like quietly or not even really quietly, you're pro-Israel and you're trying to pretend you're not, or you're trying to like justify it, which is crazy. But that is the world we live in, because, like, I mean, how many Americans do we know that justify, like, all the fucked up things? How many people brag about nuking Japan?
Yeah.
Like, like that was a cool thing to do,
Like, here, like...
In a place where there was no military.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Civilian
like, for
casualties.
me, like, growing up, like, high school, all that stuff, heard the bombs dropping and stuff, and I was like... Man, they must have had some big fucking military bases there. Or, like, it was near a very essential military base, and, it's in the city. I mean, it had to be done. But then I find out that it was literally just two cities with people in it. It wasn't near a harbor with, like, battleships in it. It wasn't near a military base where they're training them and telling them to, training them to be kamikaze pilots. Nope. Nope, just two civilizations like wiped off the face of the earth for no fucking reason other than we got big bombs and we need to test them.
Well, it's really fucking crazy, man, how much it changes your thinking being in, like, I mean, I've never been in the military, obviously.
No,
but
me neither.
Hearing stories, like just the other day I was listening to a podcast about Japanese soldiers from World War II that were like on various missions and ended up being in that location for 30 years not knowing that the war was over.
Yep. Oh yeah, there's that one famous example.
Yeah, for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because that's happened multiple times, not just with Japan, obviously, but across World War II, where some fucking dude is lost in that region, and they think the war is going, and they think it's their final stand. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, some fucking person is like, dude, it's been like 20 years.
Well, dude, in this case, like, the dude's family ended up going out there and was in helicopters dropping letters and all kinds of shit, and I can't remember what they're fucking called right now, but big ass speakers being like, "Hey, it's us. The war's over. We're good."
Yep.
And then the dude hearing that and just being like, "Oh, it's obviously a trick."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have my family and they're trying to get me to come out.
And that's the thing that's an aspect I think everybody tends to forget, is that war creates paranoia.
Oh my god.
And paranoia is just going to destroy you. Like, period. And that's why with people like super gung ho about being like, oh yeah, like my side's got all the guns and stuff like that. I'm just like, why are you so eager to end somebody's life for what? Like for what? That's, I don't think there's been a single agenda item in the past 4 years that has come after our money, our guns, our property. I mean, like, back in the 90s,
we already do that to ourselves.
Well, yeah. But I don't know where I was going with that one.
The rest of the world's like, wait, they'll do it themselves.
Yeah. Very, very slippery slope we're approaching here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's happened with, like, Europeans, too, where it's, like, just like, oh, yeah, I'm holding up this fucking, like, abandoned village, and, all the people are trying to go home.
Yep.
Turns out, some fucking dude's been trapped there, thinking the Nazis are coming home or something, and it's like, no, dude.
They lost.
It's over. Yeah, it's over, dude, we promise. Yeah, and it's also crazy when you think about it. Going back to the whole, because World War II is like actually a whole very pivotal moment for like the whole Israeli thing in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Where like you hear about this dude Netanyahu, that's not his name. His name's like fucking like was originally like something Stein or something Berg, but these people are changing their name to sound more Israeli, more exotic or whatever, because their families came from Europe,
Yep.
and it's a really weird thing though. Like what possesses you to like do that? Like what propaganda are they like selling you to where you're like, I gotta change my name to sound more, more indigenous to this land, Like shouldn't that raise questions in your mind? Like why did your family change the name,
Right.
It sounds like pandering.
Yeah. Especially like it's crazy to think about the fact that I don't know if it was all their choice. Yeah, if that thing has been sitting there like that for like 5 minutes, so I've just been holding the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Continue, my friend.
Okay, so anyways, the whole thing with World War II and stuff is after the Holocaust. I'm not sure if it was exactly all the people, the victims' faults, or choice to go to Israel, or if they, were just kind of forced out. Like, well, you can't go home. Oh yeah, it works. I'm just gonna hold on to it either way. for the listeners, my mic stand is like being weird.
Yeah, I'll fix them once we're done with this one.
So anyways, yeah. So I wonder if in a way like they were kind of kicked out of Europe.
Well, that's from my understanding. That's exactly how Israel kind of got started in the first place. Was
after they're like they have no homes to go to. What do you mean? You can't just go back to Poland? Can't go back to all these countries that everyone else is going back to? Like, that's weird.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. So the U.S. actually has a perfect example where there was a boat that came over from I don't remember if it was Poland, Germany, but they came over from Europe, contained a bunch of Jews, and they were just like, nope, turned the boat around and sent them on back, and didn't have anything to do with like, oh yeah, our country's full because we're America. We're never fucking full,
Dude, we literally took in
Yeah.
Nazis. Like,
well, and that's the most fucked up part is that like, we turned away the Jews before World War, or like as World War II was going on, and they're like, oh, where are all these immigrants coming from? I wonder fucking why, like.
yeah, the CIA is like, oh, you did what for the Nazis? Oh,
Seriously,
come on in.
That's exactly what happened. And then like we defeat the Nazis, and they go, you know what? We're gonna pluck some of the nice pearly fucking white ones and pluck them, put them in America. We're gonna have them build our fucking rockets. We're gonna have them help us build a nuke. We're gonna have them help us go to space.
Yeah, we're gonna have them fucking in the CIA.
That's
know.
a very interesting accent you have. Where are you from?
Yeah.
Shit. I don't remember where this was, but there was like a joke of like if you ever want to find out who worked for Project Paperclip, just like say like Sieg Heil in the middle of the CIA office, and see who goes to salute. Like,
yeah, man.
Holy shit, man! Like,
they give out awards for fucking named after Nazi scientists and shit.
Oof.
Yeah, and also it's something I've always pushed. When I learned this about World War II in high school, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know exactly if it was like a "you can't come home" thing, but in a way, you kind of made it to where Hitler's agenda kind of won when apparently you get a bunch of Jews out of Europe and fucking stick them in the middle of Israel.
No, yeah,
and or Palestine at the time, and it's like his whole thing was like we need to get them out of here. And he wanted to mass deport them, but apparently that was too expensive or something, so he just started killing them. So it's like, this new freshly created, I think UN or NATO, one of the two, was just like, yeah, anyways, we're gonna send you guys all here and just, fuck the dirty, Arab people that live there. You go ahead and just go to war with them.
They can share it with you.
Yeah, it's insane, like history after that too, like. There are so many things. I think I saved a thing in case I ever needed to actually look at it. No, I didn't. I don't think.
But so from my
crazy list of like massacres though that happened since then to now.
And from my understanding about Israel too is that it was set up kind of like as the Arabic people saw them coming over and was going like, okay, well, here's this plot of land that y'all can have. And then from there, it like became radical, if that makes sense. Like they were just like, you know what? We need more land. We don't have the people to fill that land, but we need more land. And like from my understanding, Zionists are like the radical, like super radical right wing of Israel. Like,
yes. And that's the thing too. Is like clearly it's not all Israelis.
No, it isn't.
It's really sad that we even have to say that.
Well, and the funny thing is, like, you can find the videos of IDF soldiers fucking around with other Jewish people in Israel.
Yeah.
Just because they're Hasidic or because they're Orthodox.
There are people that speak out against this stuff all the time and are branded by their own people as like anti-Semitic, and it's insane to me. One such example was this guy, I think Norm Finkelstein or something like that. Just saw him today. They called him a Holocaust denying piece of shit or something. It's like I don't know if he did that, but he was apparently talking in just about how Israel is like just kind of going overboard here with a lot of the stuff. But I don't know. Again, we're all a bunch of dumbasses that don't have enough time. We're not journalists.
We're not on the front lines actually, reporting on this or anything like that.
And I don't want to be either, because Israel fucking kills journalists. So
yeah.
Yep.
And you know what's the worst thing of it all? The thing that's really radicalized me between this entire conflict has been just seeing like the attempted recovery of like families and children. The thing that still gets me to this day was that I saw this video of children in like basically a rescue zone, basically tents, and They were just, trying to keep them busy, keep them from, I guess. I mean, it's not like they didn't realize what the fuck's going on around them, but these are little fucking kids that are drawing and shit, crowns, crown level drawing shit, man. And as they're sitting there just trying to, like, I guess enjoy the day, an airplane flies over, and you just see the terror in their eyes, dude. Like, as they're looking up in the skies and like, oh fuck. And like that's radical. That's what's made me radical at this point in time, where it's just like, no, fuck you and your idea of like, oh, it's you're anti-Semitic for not liking Israel. Yeah. No, fuck you, man.
Dude, well, so why is it every time? Because I get like, there's a very hard point when it comes to like discussing terrorism, because terrorists are just they're always like rebellious forces, and it's crazy because it's like any rebellious force is terrorists until they win. Like, look at Afghanistan right now. That's Al Qaeda.
Yeah,
Al Qaeda won, and now they're Afghanistan.
Exactly.
So like the crazy thing is looking back at this and like looking at all the ways they were attacking Hamas and stuff. People that have lived through countless massacres and have been radicalized by them losing their family members and stuff. Mm-hmm. That's gonna warp you mentally. And of course, I don't think Hamas is justified in what they're doing. I just think I just know I understand where they're coming from. You see the cycle. Yeah, I understand where they're coming from. It's the same way, like, I understand that the IDF has to fight them. But it's just crazy to me that like their way of fighting them is like the biggest example where I was like, what the fuck? How do you think this is like sensible? Is roof knocking, where I think I've explained this on the show before, but there's people in apartments, and apparently they would drop a fucking bomb on the apartment, but with no shell. So they just hear a pong on the top of the fucking apartment, and everyone knows they have 10 to 15 minutes to get out of there before the real bomb gets dropped on the apartment. Or the real bombs. So they're going to bomb your fucking home. And they warned you. And first of all, if you're a terrorist, you're warning the terrorists that you're going to bomb the home.
Yeah. So why are you bombing the home?
So, yeah, this strategy doesn't make sense to me from the start.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
The second thing is, like, why are you blowing up an entire home? Because, like, a bunch of people live there and stuff.
Yep.
Because, like, I've talked to, I mean, not on the show. I've talked about a lot of bad things, like, the U.S. have done when they were chasing Al Qaeda and fighting ISIS and stuff. I don't think they were completely bombing fucking homes. I know they completely bombed prison camps, but I can't get too much into that because that information was from a source that I can't. Yeah, I was like, that's from a source that I don't want to reveal too much about. Someone who was in the military told me that. But like, the fact that like the whole idea, like, the Navy SEAL team they sent in to get Obama, or not Obama, holy fuck, Osama. Osama.
Was that another executive order signed recently?
Right.
What? When did that happen?
Right. Oh my God.
We're gonna treat it like I didn't say Chuck. Let's go.
Yeah.
Obama.
Wait, Osama. Fuck. You did it again. Yeah.
I didn't do it again.
Yeah,
I did it once.
No, you said
It would have been again if you did it.
Yeah. No. It's ironic though because it was Obama who was in office when they got Osama. Yep. And a lot of people are like, I don't believe we got him or whatever. But, they sent in this, like, crazy fucking SEAL team, and they killed all the terrorists in the building or whatever. And I think they kept the women alive or whatever. They kept other people alive while they're getting fucking Osama bin Laden. And,
Obama bin Laden?
Yes. Obama Hussein bin Laden. No. And it's crazy to me because it's like, so you guys have this ability. Apparently, the IDF is supposed to be one of the best armed and like best trained military forces on the planet. Go to fucking Palestine and do the same thing.
Well, yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Why do our SWAT teams fucking do this shit here to deal with threats that are just called in randomly, I believe full-heartedly you don't have to blow up fucking pagers killing children that are nearby or whatever
But you see, we could get $6 million for every one of those bombs. How much do you think it's going to cost? We're going to get for sending in an actual SEAL team?
Right. Well, no. I'm not saying the SEAL team. I'm saying the IDF could do it themselves.
Oh,
they're
yeah,
soldiers.
yeah.
You know, they always blow things up and then investigate and try to justify it later.
Yeah,
and it's
but
like,
we only can make like about $1 off every bullet.
You know, and that could be it too. Is like they just want to do more ordnance or whatever. But like, and I understand I'm telling them to like do the dangerous thing, but you're in the fucking military. I'm sorry, that's your job.
Yep.
That's your duty. Like you're supposed to believe, like, you know, this highly purposeful crusade against Hamas or whatever. If you're in the IDF, you know, but
and they do to the point that they get giddy over exploding buildings.
Yeah, and to the point where you're an office worker and you're like, please, I want to go on a raid. You
yeah.
know? So it's crazy. And yeah, clearly back then they were doing raids because that was an example. But like, why? But now they've resulted in just blowing up entire buildings.
But we'll let them know first.
Yeah, we'll let them know first so that they could run, so they could run and start shooting people or something. Like, you know, that's why I really don't get that. That.
Well, also,
strategy.
how sure are you not just shooting civilians if they're running away anyways? So
They shoot civilians all the time. They I think it's almost like a scorched earth approach. When it comes to gunning people down too, but like, I'm saying Hamas. If there's a Hamas terrorist and he's like, I'm losing my home, they're bombing me. You know, if I was like dude, I would go into final stand mode at that point. Like, all right, I guess I got to go out, and who knows if they're out there waiting for us to go out or not. I'm bringing my gun and I'm gonna fight back. You know, kind of thing. So it's like, you know, you might be arming people or inciting people to become violent, because what if they decide on the way out, I'm going to kill innocent Palestinians on the way out, because what if, like, maybe Hamas doesn't care about the civilians, you know, because they're trying to paint these people as evil people.
Yep.
You know, but of course it's probably not that way. It is probably just a nationalist. I think they are nationalist terrorists and not religious terrorists.
Who? Which ones?
I think Hamas is I think they're a nationalist force because they're fighting for Palestine, and I think technically, I think the same way Al Qaeda is currently like the Afghan Republic or whatever. I think Hamas is essentially the ones in charge of the Palestinian government too. So that's a really muddy thing. I'll have to read more into that, by the way, guys.
That's
so if
crazy.
you're a listener, if you're a listener and you guys have more information on this, feel free to correct me on that. But like, I might need to like read into more of the really muddy stuff of that kind of thing, because the politics, like the geopolitics of the Middle East is fucked. Because
yeah, it is.
Every time people talk about like, oh man, I have a coworker who talks about all these shithole countries, and I always go like, dude, we propped up these countries and then knocked down the leader every now and then. You know, because they fucking get too powerful or too uppity is, I guess, the word I'll have to use here. Because it is the same. It's the same treatment they're getting. Because, like, think about the Iran-Contra affair or whatever, and how Saddam Hussein got too uppity. We go to war. Takes a while to get them, too, because we ended up getting them, like, decades later. But, yeah, we go to war. We fight, I think that was the Taliban at the time. Oh, wait. Sorry. I think it's actually the Taliban in charge of Afghanistan, not Al-Qaeda. Sorry about that. Afghanistan, Taliban, I believe. Al-Qaeda, Iraq, I think. And I'm not saying they're in charge of Iraq. I'm saying I think they are Iraqi religious zealot terrorists. Versus the Taliban, I think they're religious zealots, but I think they're nationalist terrorists for Afghanistan. Okay. I'll have to look more into that. It's crazy to think about all these terrorist groups, because like they tell us all they want to do is kill us because of our freedom, right, or our religion. Because they usually are religious extremists. But like their goals are usually a little bit more like, no, we're trying to create a state. Like I think ISIS wants to create an Islamic State. That's what they're called, the Islamic State. I don't know what the other IS is, though. It's ISIS. And I think they were trying to create, essentially like the same thing the fucking Catholics created with like the Vatican, you know.
Does ISIS stand for the Israeli state of Israel and Syria?
No, Islamic. Islamic State. I don't know if Israel though. Well, I think it's also other people call it ISIL.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it might be. Fuck. That's crazy that you say that because maybe the L might be Lebanon, but I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know enough about the stuff because it's like little fractions of stories I'm reading about something that we did, and you only get a little bit of crumb of information, and like you start to piece these.
Summed up.
Yeah, you start to piece things together, especially when you listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because like their goals are usually saying like, oh, we're fighting against like this imperialist force, and by Allah we shall win, kind of thing.
Yep.
And once they do have power and stuff, yes, they are doing horrible things to people. Like, I mean, how many Chaldean people have been come here as refugees, especially to San Diego, where we're from, where all these people then turn around and call them fucking jihadist people, and it's like, they're the Christians. Like, they're not even fucking Muslim. They're just from those countries. You fuck.
Yeah.
And like these are people getting targeted by the same groups, and then they're being called that, and yeah, you start to learn things, especially talking to people. How about, like, that's a challenge I think everyone should do, is, like, talk to a foreign person.
Oh, yeah.
When you meet them and ask them about where they came from and stuff. And see if they give you crazy stories. Because, like, when I worked at Little Caesars, one of my first official out of high school job, my manager was kidnapped by Al-Qaeda. And they made him fucking bomb something, like, pull a trigger or something like that. They, like, left him out in the middle of nowhere and threatened, like, if you try to run, we're going to kill you. And, like, he had to, like, pull a trigger on something, and then they let him go. That is the story he told me.
That's crazy.
And then he asked me about girls in my high school, and I was like, okay, dude, that's too far. Yeah, I forget his name. Something with an S. Fuck you, dude. Because, like, I feel bad
fuck you.
Yeah, I feel bad for the Al-Qaeda thing. You're a piece of shit, though, because you wanted to fuck high school girls.
Piece of shit.
Oh, yeah, like, I don't know how old he was. Probably, like, 30 or whatever. By the way, his wife, smoking hot Chaldean chick.
Ooh.
Yeah, smoking hot Chaldean chick. And I was like, what about your wife? Do not again ask me about my wife. I remember that because the way he said it, he was such a shit-eating grin. Like, don't leave her out of this. I'm asking about high school girls right now. I was like,
that's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know culturally how much like
what's the
age of consent stuff. Yeah,
yeah. What's the age of consent over there?
Because I know that kind of stuff is also lower in like Europe. It's so like Europeans are fucking weird about that too. And I mean, fuck. I mean, people here are still weird about that shit.
Oh yeah, no, people around here are fucking weird as shit about it.
Yeah, they're weird about that shit, and we have those laws. So,
yeah.
I mean, think about the. Oh God.
Those are more guidelines, though, right?
Yeah, time to leave the geopolitics. Yeah, time to leave the geopolitics topic and just go right into like, what's wrong with fucking weirdo libertarians or like people in general, even if you're apolitical, and you'll try to justify like your pedophilia or, oh no, it's actually pedo, whatever. They'll have dumb other terms. I don't care, dude. If you like kids, you're weird. But trying to justify like liking teenagers or whatever because like they're blooming, like they're the most fertile at this point. Like,
yeah, like that's fucking disgusting, bro.
This isn't CK. Yeah, this isn't CK3, bro. This ain't BitLife. Like, this is real. You're being fucking weird.
Like, half of those people, I feel like you just need to have a tape recorder, record it, and then play it back for them. So that way they can hear how creepy they fucking sound. Yeah. Like,
I just had to, like, break up with a friend over shit like that.
Oh.
Because, yeah, I worked with him at the grocery store, and...
Maybe even that's too much information, because I think you've mentioned this guy in previous episodes.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck care. You. Piece of shit.
He knows what he did.
Yeah.
That is gross. Especially if you're around our age. Because we're long past the age of it being, like, kind of not okay, but we get where you're coming from thing. Like,
Speaking of people that like younger people, fuck you, Matt Walsh, you piece of shit.
Matt Gaetz too. You
Fucking
weirdo.
cunt.
Matt Gaetz is an actual pedophile.
Yep. Fuck you, Gates.
Yeah, and by the way, just to put extra context on what I said, so people are like, "What do you mean?" So like, when you're like 18, when you're like 19, and you're still in that age group of like people around you, your peers are still like, 16, 17, 18 maybe.
Yeah.
You're not in the older echelon of people yet. I get sometimes people are dating people younger than them or whatever. But, like, once you're 20...
Yeah.
Pack it in, dude.
Yeah.
Pack it in, dude.
Yeah, once you hit 20... Yep.
No more 17.
Yep.
You're, like, you got 2 years of, like, to get it together.
You're about to start going
and
to bars.
Some people aren't even giving you the 2 years. I'm being nice.
Right.
Being like, I get it. You're, like, not used to being an adult yet. You got to get it together by 20, dude. And it's like, hey, I'm not saying you can, can't date a like an 18-year-old. Guess what? They're fine. But once you're 23, hey man, it's a little weird if they're 18. only a little, not too weird. But like,
and if you're pushing 30, dude.
if you're pushing 30, guess what? 25's okay. 25 and 40. That's once you're 30, you can date someone up to 40, date down to the 25. Because like the way I think about that is like
10 years senior, 5 years
when
younger,
when you're an adult for like, because if you're 30, you've been an adult for 10 years. Yep. Someone who's 20, they've been an adult for a legal adult for 3 years. They're just now an actual adult, So I think it's a little weird to like kind of prey on those people. Okay, I'm not gonna say prey, right away, but it's kind of weird to date those people because in a way you are grooming them, where you're like, oh, let's get a mortgage together, let's get married, because you're in a totally different part of your life.
Yeah,
and they're fucking still at the age where they should be like just focusing on like,
do I want
work,
a career or do I want?
The point is they're moldable, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah,
that's what you're doing.
And see, I'm being generous saying 30 because there are 40, 50. There's people older. Doing this shit to people in their like early 20s. Finding women in their early 20s, and they're like, "Hey man, I've worked all throughout my 20s, 30s, maybe even 40s, and now I'm a rich guy. Look at me, I have money, I'm in shape. For a 50-year-old guy, I look pretty good. I could get a 21-year-old." And it's like, you're grooming a girl.
You're nasty.
That's disgusting, dude.
Yeah.
Like you could be your grandfather.
Yeah, that's just it.
It's just like how I said, like, once you go down, like, once you get up to, like, 40, it's like, all right, you can go, like, the upper limits of that kind of, I don't even care anymore, but the lower limits, like, all right, you can go down to 30. Maybe don't mess with the 25-year-old. What was the equation?
Was it half your age plus 7 was the thing of, like, your minimum date?
I don't know. I've always had, like, a 4-year rule that I kind of stuck to.
Up or
the
down?
The 4-year rule is especially important, like, right out of high school.
Oh, my God.
But, like, as you get older, it's like, yeah, because, like, 4 years younger than you is 26, It's like, yeah, 25-year-old's not that much different at that point. But, like, and hell, even, like, 24, sure. 23, it's like early 20s,
Yeah.
It's like they're still getting, like, we were, like, the completely, that's when we moved out here. Completely different, like,
just as people.
Mindset, dude, yeah. It's very much high school sweethearts out here, and then they get divorced, and then
yep.
they have.
Well, that's the thing too. Yeah, they like get kids have kids right
man,
away.
Holy shit!
And it's like dudes are cheating, and it's like, oh, well, now I have a fucking kid because I thought I was gonna settle down with this guy.
Yeah,
that's crazy shit. Or sometimes they're also just a lot more pro-life up here. But
yeah, that too. Ugh.
I mean,
hey, you know what? You want a baby, get that baby, but you can't tell other people to not, to have the baby,
Yeah, exactly. Don't force them to. If you, as the mother and father, choose to have the baby, I respect you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing of, like, it is unfortunate when you look at that kid, and it's like, all right, you're going to have a very complicated parental relationship because these are young people, and Usually it's the dad cheating, but moms be cheating out here too. People be cheating in the small town. I'm like, you guys are gonna get caught.
They're fucking bored. I swear.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I
that's
think boredom has something to do with it.
mm-hmm. Well, that's why small towns have lots of drug problems because there's nothing to fucking do and you're bored. Like,
I think everywhere has a drug problem.
yeah, pretty much.
I hate it, dude. Go to any city where anyone tells you anything about their town or whatever, and they'll be like, "It's full of crackheads," and it's like everywhere's full of crackheads. By the way, just letting you know.
I don't get it. Small towns, drugs.
As he takes a hit of a pen.
illegal thing, illegal substance.
Yes,
of course.
Sorry, let me enunciate perfectly. A legal substance.
A legal substance.
Because it sounded like I was possibly saying illegal substance. No,
it's a vape pen, folks.
A legal substance. But
THC. Just getting real specific.
Yeah.
No guessing here, people.
Yeah, small towns. Oh gosh, I think we're getting a little far into the time there, and I was like, oh, actually, that's a subject for another episode. But
small town life.
We got a lot.
That definitely isn't being recorded today.
We got a lot of information to talk about regarding small towns for the next episode, or maybe a future episode. For now, though, I mean, gosh, I don't even know if we should wrap it up here. If you guys have anything else to say,
I think it'd be a good idea to wrap it up.
Yeah,
here.
we could wrap it up. I still haven't got that video out, by the way, for my plug stuff. I'm actually having problems. Do you guys have do you guys have Canva, or have you used Canva?
You mean Canvas?
Canva-vis?
No, Canva.
No,
It's a program where you it's like a graphic design program.
No.
You have Patreon, because we have a Patreon. Please subscribe to our Patreon if you feel like supporting us. So when you log on, has it ever given you this window where it's like, we have to make sure you have a secure internet connection? Like when you're logging on?
To which one?
To Canva?
I don't
Patreon.
have Canva. Oh, Patreon.
Oh.
I've only done it the once just to make it.
And you're still logged in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for some reason, this is what I fucking hate. Dude, people who make modern computers, fuck you for me saying remember me on everything, and you guys log me out.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
fuck you. It's my computer. Keep me logged in. You fuck. Anyways, so I've been logged out of my Patreon, and when I try to log on to Patreon and Canva, two things I need for this fucking shit I'm trying to get going.
Right.
It will hit me with this new service thing where it's like, testing your internet connection, and we want to verify and make sure you're a human. And it just fucking sits there, and the page reloads. Sits there, page reloads. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Log on to my fucking Patreon.
Right.
And at first, when I did it, I was at my job, because I get there like an hour early every day, so I thought I'd fucking work on some stuff. And nope. All right, cool. I'm going to do it when I get home, because I know I have a secure connection at home. Nope. Still a pain in the ass at home. And it's like, I need Canva to make fucking book covers and thumbnails and stuff like that. So I might need a new, program. And that's what I was getting to, guys. That stuff's still in the works. So, follow my Chuck Bailey YouTube or whatever. But I don't have anything for you yet because of those programs.
Because they suck!
Yeah, and I might have to either call customer support, which I don't want to do, or I might have to find a new program completely. I just don't want to pay for something like Photoshop, even though I know that's the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to support that big corporate.
Yeah, well, it's like I already pay for a Microsoft subscription. Too bad. Why doesn't Microsoft have something?
Right.
They don't even have MS Paint anymore, dude. MS Paint would have been dope. I could have just been just throw words on there, throw different colors on the sprites.
Paint?
No, I don't have MS Paint.
Weird.
I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think I tried to find it too in their app store.
Just do your command key and do paint.
Command key and paint?
Or like your search bar and your like start menu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just do that in paint because I mean at least my computer does that. But
What do you have? What is your operator system or whatever?
I think Windows 10 or 11.
I think I have Windows 11, so okay.
Yeah. So as for me, I ain't got much going on, so unfortunately nothing to follow yet. I did get a new lamp so that way I could do some painting and stuff. So let's go, Doug, and let's do those painting videos. Woo!
Oh,
so
I mean, I guess support the DFL. I don't. We'll have to get into the meat of that in a different.
Oh, the
episode,
DFL,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, because I think the DFL is going to war soon. And Alex, of course, plug us.
Hey, I'm plugging us. Like us. Subscribe to us. Do the things.
Yeah,
Hooligan Media.
Hooligan Media.
Yeah, we're all
and ask yourself the question I'm asking myself every day. Why, John? Why? It's okay. Fuck you, John. I didn't really care all that much.
It's crazy. I didn't
Fuck
see
you,
it
John.
coming, dude.
You see?
Piece of shit.
I should have said I couldn't see it coming.
You know, if it was Rey Mysterio, I might care more. But since it's John Cena, I really don't care.
I mean, to me, it's just all fucking pageantry anyway. So, like, I'm glad he gets to be the heel again before he retires.
Exactly.
See, I like it because it's making like a full circle, you know? Start as a heel, end as a heel.
If it's something he actually wants to do, he's going to be more passionate about it, and that tells me that it might even be better than what it could have been.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And whatever.
He
gets to go out on a strong note, and then he also gets to possibly break the record and have 17 world championships. So it's his way of going out, and I think it's cool. But like I said, if it was Rey Mysterio, who's like always been the good guy, whatever. But I know for a fact John Cena was not always the good guy, so I'm okay with it.
Okay.
So climb aboard the train.
Yeah.
And ask John, why?
Why, John?
Why, John?
Also, hi, Quinn.
Hi, Quinn.
Hi, Quinn.
We don't know.
Making sure we're getting all our
shout outs in.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley, Muscle Mommy, please.
Muscle Mommy.
Hi.
Lean Beef Patty. Or no. Lean Beef Patty? Lean Beef.
What? I got some Googling to do.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I showed you guys.
Soon to be Gypsy Rose on the strength train.
Oh, and fuck you, Casey Anthony.
Yeah, fuck you, Casey Anthony.
Casey
Where is Jake? No, it's gonna.
Casey Anthony. Casey Anthony, go fuck yourself.
No. What is going on up there?
Casey Anthony, fuck you.
Boo. These nuts.